Yo, what is going on, everyone in crypto space? So today I wanted to make a video about two topics that I think are starting to concern the XRP community. I've seen on Twitter forums and especially in the chat on stream. So I wanted to address these two topics in today's video. So the first topic I'm going to go over is the Mitsubishi Bank of Tokyo, and I think a few other banks in Japan creating something called the Utility Settlement Token. And basically what that is because people think, oh, they're creating their own crypto, they don't have to use XRP, but it's completely false, but I can understand the concern. So the thing is, this utility settlement token, all it's meant to be is a currency paired one-to-one with the same exact value as the yen. So one of these tokens will equal exactly 1 yen. So essentially all it is that it's a digital version, or a digital currency version of the yen. Similar to how Tether, even though it's not official, it's basically a Tether but for the Japanese yen. Now people are thinking, oh, they can use this crypto instead of XRP. But the thing is they still need liquidity, and XRP provides liquidity. So the XRP ledger will just treat that currency essentially as the yen when transferring it to US dollars, euros, or pounds, or whatever it may be. So this new coin that Mitsubishi Bank of Tokyo is making, all it is, it's just a one-to-one to the yen, and through the XRP network, it'll be treated as the yen and will still flow through the XRP network. Because they can't just create the utility settlement token and have liquidity out of thin air. So they're still going to need XRP for liquidity, and XRP will just treat that currency as the yen. So there's really nothing to be concerned about. It's not a way around using XRP. They can still use that token for XRP, because the utility settlement token isn't going to have liquidity for a transaction that's going to Europe or to Africa or to India. It's not going to have liquidity in that sense. It's only going to have liquidity for the yen. So all that really is just a digital version of the yen, which will be treated as a yen on the XRP liquidity network. So it's really not their own crypto. It's just a digital version of the currency that can still be used on the XRP ledger and transfer through XRP. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was this article today that came out by CoinDesk saying that this bank in Argentina is actually using Bitcoin for cross-border transactions. There's a few things I have wrong with this. One, I don't necessarily trust Coinbase. They've posted a lot of false articles in the past, spreading a lot of misinformation. They actually ran ads for BitConnect, out of all things they could run ads for. And plus the thing is that another point I wanted to bring up is that banks don't want to be associated with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, if you ask any random person that's heard of Bitcoin, they're going to say, oh yeah, it's used for dark web, used for drugs and illegal things online, and buying weapons and such. So any big bank, this bank in Argentina, I would assume this is not a very big bank. Argentina, I'm not trying to offend anyone if you live in Argentina, that's nothing against you, but it does have a kind of a bad economy and really, really bad inflation. So they're not, I would assume they're not necessarily a very big and significant bank in the banking industry. But I mean, them using Bitcoin, it's the transactions are still going to take hours, and the transaction fee is going to vary. And there's actually a lot of volatility they're being exposed to. The volatility for XRP doesn't really matter because you're only being exposed to volatility for 3 seconds. And if the bank doesn't want to take on that risk, a liquidity provider will take the risk and will actually charge a fee and make profits off of it. But the problem with Bitcoin is the transaction times really vary. I mean, when I got a payout from Ledger because they pay out in Bitcoin, if you guys didn't know, the transaction was initiated at 6:35 a.m., didn't clear until 12 p.m., and I lost about, I think it was $6 to $8 on the transaction. And it's really not so much the money being lost, it's the time that it's being taken. So for banks and for big consumers, it doesn't have a good connotation to it. No big bank that like Ripple is working with is going to want to be tied and have a connection with Bitcoin. They don't want to be associated with it because it's known for bad things. Although it really isn't used a ton for bad things. That's the main connotation to it, is that to people who aren't like crypto enthusiasts, to them it's just a currency that's used for illegal things online, and no bank wants to be tied to that. Plus the transaction time varying, it can take, depending if the network is backlogged. When Bitcoin was at its peak of nearing $20,000, transactions, I was hearing, was taking people over a day for a transaction to clear. And the transaction fee was actually $30. Because during that time, I had money in Bitcoin, and it was on Coinbase, and I didn't have verification because the SMS verification wasn't working, so I couldn't transfer any other coin. So when I went to go buy a Razer keyboard on Amazon through BitPay, it cost me $35 to make that transaction. This is not appeasing the banks. Swift is going to be cheaper than Bitcoin when it's at its all-time high and when the network is backlogged or threatened and whatnot. So Bitcoin is not appeasing the banks. And plus, what's going to be better for a consumer? Same-day transactions or real-time settlement in 3 minutes? Trust me, XRP is the main token and the main technology for cross-border payments. Bitcoin is not a threat to XRP and cross-border payments. And plus, this one Argentina bank that's using it, I guarantee there's not a lot of other banks that are going to be accepting Bitcoin to switch it into fiat currency and whatnot. And it's just overall, it's not meant for cross-border payments, and there are many issues with the technology to where it's not a threat to XRP. XRP is a threat to Bitcoin, not the other way around. So I just wanted to clear that up, that the utility settlement token is not a threat to XRP, and neither is this bank using XRP or using Bitcoin for cross-border payments. And let's say a bunch of little banks, they start using Bitcoin. When they actually start scaling it, the network is going to have problems. That's just what happens. Bitcoin is not scalable. When it had like 20-something billion dollars in volume, the network was horrible. It's not usable for transactions. It was cheaper to go through a bank than to use Bitcoin. So guys, and also, again, just want to bring up the point, no bank, no large corporation is going to want to be associated with Bitcoin. That's going to give it a negative connotation. So trust me guys, XRP and Ripple is the technology for cross-border payments and was specifically designed to do so, and is just an overall great technology, never maliciously threatened, ledgers closed within 3 seconds, transactions at fractions of a penny to where it's almost nothing. So just wanted to clear that up for you guys today. So thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Check the links in the description to support the channel. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully I cleared up some information for you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.